What's up, everyone? Matt back for another real review, and today I'm here to talk to you about one of the most anticipated movies of the summer and what is supposed to be part one of a two-part finale, and that is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Alright, so my personal opinion is we got the best Mission Impossible film in the entire franchise in Fallout. So, going into this film, I was very curious on how they could top it and how they would handle the part one, part two problem. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of times where a part one and a part two don't feel like their own stories. Now, more recent successful ones, Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Let's be honest, that's a part one and a part two, but they do a great job of telling their own singular stories within the part one, part two format. Movies that haven't been as successful include The Hunger Games, Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2, and another movie that was successful, but that's because it had a giant book to go along with it, was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. So, when you see a movie is getting a part one and a part two, it's totally understandable if you don't know how you feel about it and if you think it's going to fail. Well, I'm glad to say that Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 does succeed for the most part. It's a film that does feel like its own story. However, at the end, personally at least, and for my buddy Kutsa who came along with me, felt like still had a little of that part one, part two issue, but it still told its own story where you could be like, okay, part two, we know where it's going, but do we at the same time? And that's what I think makes this more successful in that endeavor. So first and foremost, Tom Cruise is an ageless wonder. I just had so much fun on this new MI adventure, especially with Simon Pegg and adding Palm Clementif and Haley Atwell to just this stellar cast. I mean, it was without a doubt one of the better films in the Mission Impossible series. My personal rankings for MI films, number one's Fallout. I'm still a Ghost Protocol guy over number 5 in Rogue Nation. So it's 6, 4, 5, 3, 1, 2. And if I'm going to place this one somewhere in there, it's probably coming in right below 5. But depending on a rewatch, it could go above it. Ethan Hunt's back, and his team is here to track down a pair of keys that lead to this deadly new age weapon that, honestly, out of all the MI films, this was the MacGuffin, the weapon, whatever that they have to take down. This was the one that scared me most because it felt like it was very realistic that this could happen in today's day and age. And I thought that was really cool because I sat there, I'm like, yo, like, yeah, poisonous, whatever. They're poisonous, our virus to go out. This is coming. This is a tech, just program AI that's kind of like Skynet in a way, but it's an AI program that can infiltrate and project fake news and all this. I'm like, yo, that seems like that is something that can really happen any day now. This feels kind of scary. And I dug that because when you come to spy films, a lot of the times it's such out there premise for the MacGuffin, but it wasn't here. This is something that you actually feel like could happen at any moment, any day. So we're now on this globe-trotting adventure. But here's the thing: while we know what this whole MacGuffin is, there's a secondary MacGuffin because there's a key that whoever holds it controls it. Now, here's the twist. As the audience, you know what this machine does because they tell you early on. But all the crews after is this key, and there's your part 1, part 2 scenario, because right now it's about the key to control this machine. Part 2 is about getting the machine and destroying it. So you're following this globe-trotting adventure just to get the key, and you include a cast that's Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Vanessa Kirby, Haley Atwell, Pom Clemente. It's just this really well-rounded cast. Isaiah Morales, or Isaiah Morales. I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name, but it's just such an interesting premise, and then you throw in those Mission Impossible stunts, like the stunt that they filmed day one, because Tom Cruise has to do his own stunts, and it's just incredible. It's a fun time. Is it the best one in the series? Like I said, no. Is it the worst one? By far, it is not the worst one. So if I'm gonna give this one a rating, I'm gonna give it a 4.25 out of 5 reels. Like I said, it's not my favorite one. It's around middle of the pack, but Christopher McQuarrie just does a fantastic job providing great Mission Impossible films. He's done every film since 4, so 4, 5, 6, and now 7, and it felt like each one tried to figure out a way to one-up the previous one and provide this sense of realism more and more, and that's something I've appreciated about him a lot. His direction is just some of the best in the world. His eye for action sequences, and he does write on these also. So his eye for the action sequences, and then putting together a story like he has in the past. It's just everything you want from one of these films, and I can't wait for part 2. It's supposedly coming out next summer. We'll see if that holds, considering the writer's strike is going on, and soon now SAG may strike also. So who knows what's happening there? But if it doesn't hold, if those strikes do not hold, and we're back and rolling in Hollywood, I cannot wait to see what we get with Dead Reckoning Part 2. But be sure to see Dead Reckoning Part 1 in theaters starting Wednesday. It starts on Wednesday, folks. Not a typical Thursday release. It's a Wednesday release. So go check it out. Have fun at the theater. And yeah, remember to like, subscribe, and comment to everything we do over here at Watt Real Entertainment, whether that be Watt Gaming, which is our Twitch channel, which you could go watch at twitch.tv/WattRealEnt, like spelled up here in the corner. Or just look up Watt Gaming on YouTube. We put all the VODs on there after the fact. Taylor's been doing a great job with that. Celebrated his 1-year streamiversary last night. That was really cool. And yeah, podcast should be back in some form soon. We're going to start doing like quick thought breaking news videos, maybe start putting shorts up. We don't know. That's still being discussed. But just tune in, check out everything we do, and you're going to have a good time. So signing off, I'm Matt, and this was another Real Review. We'll see you next time.